Since the question was from those on the Theravada path, or more specifically, basically from those Shavaka teachings, those from the Theravada path cannot be born in Amitabha Pure Land, even though they have the great other four causes. Yeah, that was the question. So, not only Theravada, even if you are, anyone, if you follow, if you have faith in Amitabha's Pure Land with pure devotion, without confusion, without any distraction, that means there is no room for doubt. Anyone who has no doubt about such an miraculous land, miraculous pure land or realm, will also be able to accept the idea of bodhicitta. That means the concept of bodhicitta, the concept of fully enlightened Buddha is acceptable. So therefore, someone from a Shavaka stream, from a Theravada stream, if they are able to accept the concept of a pure land that has such a miraculous power, just by being born there, it will relieve them of all their suffering. Then it's also not difficult to accept the fact that bodhicitta is also a possibility. So if you accept bodhicitta, if you engage in bodhicitta, you have automatically lifted yourself from the Theravada or Shavaka path. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, by definition, by default, if a Theravada being wished to be born, if someone who follows the Theravada path, but then they wish to have a very sincere, full-fledged devotion to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, because Amitabha's Pure Land is a pure land, pure realm, that is beyond our mundane rationality and logical thinking, to be in a place where just by being there, you have no worries at all. There's no such place in our mundane world where you go to that place and all your worries go out, all your negative mindset goes, no sickness, nothing, everything just disappears. That's not logically explainable. Mundanely, in the mundane world, that is not a possibility. Only in a, you can say, mystical land, this is possible. So basically, you're going beyond mundane rationality, okay? So if you're ready to accept that path, that means you're no longer in the Theravada stream anyways. So therefore, a person who really wish to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, even if they come from a Theravada stream, they can be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, because by definition, when they wish to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, that means they wish to adopt the bodhicitta. If they adopt bodhicitta, they are no longer Shavaka or Theravada. Okay. So here, when we say Theravada, we're talking about the Theravada path. The more precise wording is the Shavaka path. So there is the Shavaka path, bodhicitta path, Shavaka path, and what is that? Pratikya Buddha path, self-realized Buddha path, and then the bodhicitta path. Okay. These three paths are divided according to one's ambition. For someone who wishes to eliminate one's negative, destructive emotions, to be free from samsaric life alone, that is a Shavaka, someone who is on a Shavaka path. So a Theravada or a Shavaka person, when they wish to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, they are no longer seeking nirvana, self-enlightenment or self-realized Buddha, Pratikya Buddha, or nirvana, just to be free from samsara. This is not what they're seeking. if you are not seeking self-realized Buddha or the nirvana for yourself, then by definition you are not a Theravada practitioner. So you're getting what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, yeah, if a Theravada person wishes to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land and tries to do that through reciting Amitabha's Pure Land, if he has a very strong belief that Amitabha's Pure Land is possible, then he also believes that that bodhicitta is also a possibility. One can attain fully enlightened Buddhahood, and one must do that. Then, by that very definition, he is no longer a Theravada. Okay. Amitabha's vow number 18 says, as long as not having committed 5 great violations or slandered the Dharma, those who aspire to be born with faith and joy and think of him can be reborn. So, even if you are not a Mahayana, if you are not on the Mahayana path, can you still be reborn there or not? Similar question, but yeah, you can. If you go by the very definition of Amitabha's vow, that anyone who recite his name, you can be born in Amitabha's Pure Land, provided that you are free from all doubts. Yeah? So the key word here is the doubt. What is that doubt that you are talking about? It's not just about doubt here. Is not just wondering. Doubt here means you full-fledgedly believing, having faith in the fact that one can become a Buddha. And if you are truly familiar with the concept of a Buddha, completely enlightened Buddha, Samyak Sambuddha, yeah, completely enlightened Buddha. So the term Buddha is widely used for enlightened and non-enlightened beings too. Completely enlightened Buddha. A completely enlightened Buddha, he becomes a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings, because one cannot just wish to attain nirvana for oneself and to be free from samsara and then leave everyone else in neglect, can neglect everyone else. So this is unthinkable. So have no doubt, and having without any doubt or without any confusion, having pure faith in the Amitabha and reciting his name. So that was the full context of the vow that Amitabha made. So if someone if someone recites the name of Amitabha and wish to be born in the Pure Land without confusion, without distraction, that means that person has no longer thinking of staying in, no longer thinking of attaining nirvana for oneself. That person is no longer lost. That person is no longer wandering. That person is no longer roaming. So so once again, by that definition, that person is in the Mahayana path. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now that is the answer to the question. I'm not sure if it makes any sense or not. Okay, so before okay, maybe we just go straight to the teaching. So Amitabha's Pure Land is, so I'm not going to go detail into the Pure Land aspect, right? It's beautiful, pleasant, all these things, everything. So just think of the most pleasant things, because every pleasant speaks different to each of us. Yeah, what your favorite flower may not be mine. Your favorite food may not be my favorite. So it differs from person to person. So last night we talked about the whole Pure Land concept being a produce of the mind, product of the mind. So you create your own realm, Pure Land, pure realm. So therefore you create it in the most favorable aspect that you wish to have. In any case, it's a very beautiful place and all that. And anyone who was born there, so anyone who was born in a Pure Land, maybe this is something you wish to know. Any Pure Land, Tara's Pure Land, Tushita, right? And Amitabha's Pure Land, Medicine Buddha Pure Land, any Pure Land. Those who are born in the Pure Land, usually we regard that as magically born. So there are 4 types of birth. Magic born, yeah. Born from a womb, born from an egg, from heat, yeah. And then those who are born, so most of the microorganism that is there, just because there is the warmth, or there is the energy, there is the, I don't know how to phrase it properly, but a lot of the microorganism that is there is regarded as born from heat or warmth. Then there is those who are born from magically born. All the bardos, we talked about bardo earlier a little bit. No, we didn't talk about actual bardo. We talked about how to do the dissolution and this and that. So to be born in bardo is a magically born creature. Similarly, all the beings in the pure realms, they are all magically born. So magically born means appear and disappear. Magical death, magical born, that means they are born magically, meaning it sounds, whatever, if you see the process, it's not magical, right? When you don't see the process, when we don't see the behind the scenes, then we call it magical. So the beings in the Pure Land, when we pray and when we wish to be born in Pure Land, when we are born there, we are not born from a womb or an egg or anything. We just appear there, and that is called a magical birth. So all the you are considered those who are in the Pure Land. They are of celestial form, like God. You know, the 6 realms. They belong not in the human category. They belong in the God category. Yeah. So they are gods, or they are celestial beings. So as a celestial being, you have some magical power. You have some form of clairvoyance. Can see, you know, can do magical things, etc. So all the beings born there, just by being born in the Amitabha's Pure Land or any Pure Land, they are free from any types of shortcoming, physical shortcoming, and mentally very sharp. Mentally sharp, and the most important part is that mentally they are inclined towards Dharma. They are celestial beings, they are gods. Then there is the other god realm, like the desire realm. You have the 33 realms of gods. So the difference between that god and the gods that are being born in the Amitabha, any Pure Land, is that in general gods are very entitled people, right? In general, so they're very entitled, very endowed with all the luxuries and everything. So they do not have any lacking, because they don't face any hardship. They don't see the need to renounce the world. So no renunciation. No renunciation means no bodhicitta. No compassion, the great compassion. Yeah, it is said that renunciation and bodhicitta are like the 2 faces of the same coin. When it's directed towards yourself, right? I do not wish to remain in samsara. Samsara is too much burdensome, too burdensome. I cannot stand samsara anymore. I wish to get out of samsara. That is renunciation. I cannot let all these people remain in samsara. I must alleviate their suffering. I must get them to enlightenment, Buddhahood. That is bodhicitta, or we sometimes call it the great compassion. When directed towards others, it's compassion or bodhicitta. When directed towards yourself, it's renunciation. So if you don't have renunciation, you don't have bodhicitta. Anyone who claims to have bodhicitta but actually is attached to samsara, they are not telling the truth. You know? So Yeah. So bodhicitta. So renunciation. It's very difficult for people, a person, individual born in the God realm, the sixth realm, right? The God realm. Out of the sixth realm, then to be born in the God realm, and then to have some sort of, how to say, to practice dharma. Very rare. Usually, what they do is, yeah, to be born in the God realm, you need to accumulate a great amount of merit, and you are born there, and then you exhaust all your positive karma that you have accumulated up to now in that realm. Basically, you live in vanity. Everything is used up, depleted, and then once you die, what remains is the negative karma that you have accumulated prior to this birth. And then, because of the negative karma, there is no other way but you born in the lower realms. So there's one of the names that is used for gods is Tibetan. We say Kap Sumpa. Kap is term or times. Sum is three times or three terms. Those with three terms, those who have three terms or three times. What that basically means is the gods can see now, prior, now, and later. What they have been, because all the gods have special magical power, clairvoyance. So prior to being born in the god realm, what they have done to be born here, what merit they have accumulated, they can see. Past. What they are, of course, they can see. Where they are going to go, they're heading towards, they also see that. They're heading towards nowhere but to lower realm, because they have exhausted all the positive karma. So came from humble beginning, doing very well now, and now going back to that humbler than humble beginning once again. So most likely to the hell realms. So therefore, the gods in general, there are actually 33 levels of God realm. All of them are. So usually like a week before their death. Okay, let's maybe just go a little bit there, this side. Out of the 33, the lowest of the lowest God realm is called the Ganden, or the land of bliss. So those, that is like the four guardians of the four direction. Like usually on most of the temple you have like four generals, right? One of them I know it's Guan Yu, right? The Guan Yu, the general. Yeah. So these are, we call it the four kings, four royal guardians, four royal kings of the four directions, something like that. Anyway, so their realm is the lowest of all the god realm. This is the lowest realm. That's why they are the guards of all the heaven, because guards usually stay at the outermost, right? So above them there are many other. So to be born, when you're born in that realm, the Yajna or the four kings of the kings of the four cardinal direction. So these are just four kings, but then there are many others who are born in their realm. Okay, so once you are born in that, it is said that one day of that, one day in their life is equal to 50 years in our life, human life. So human life, 50 years is equal to one day in the realm, in the heavenly realm, known as the King of Four Directions. Yeah. Then there are 32 other levels, and each time it is 100 times more. It goes up like that. So they stay for thousands of years. They have a very long life. For thousands of years they remain in that. So that's why the more higher level the gods are, all the gods stay, let's say, all the gods stay for 1,000 years, live for 1,000 years. But 1,000 years of the 33rd god and the 1,000 year of the first level God is different. So many times the 1,100, the lowest God, they are born, they see the 1,000 level, the highest level God, then they die, the lower gods, they die, born in hell realm, born in human realm, once again born in the heavenly realm, become gods again. They remember their past, and they look at the higher gods, and they see, oh, they're still there. Oh, gods are immortal. So the gods being immortal, that concept comes from some of the higher gods who live up to 1,000 years. So the time frame, 1,000 years, is different from our perspective, from the God's perspective, and all that. So therefore, some of the pre-Buddhist gods that are regarded as immortals by many others, it comes from that understanding, that because they have had a very long life, even from a god's perspective, from the lower god's perspective, they have lived for eons. So therefore, it seems as if they are immortal. But if you look at the time as an infinity, if time is infinite, right? Because the Buddhist concept of time, and in the Western understanding, or maybe I don't know about science, but in Western understanding, time is usually understood as linear from A to Z, right? From Eastern understanding, Eastern tradition, from Buddhist and pre-Buddhist, many pre-Buddhist Hindu and so other tradition, time is circular, a circle. So a circle has no beginning and no end. It just goes on and on and on. It's an infinite, it's a loop. It's infinite, yeah. So from an infinitive perspective, then 10,000 years is nothing, because if the measurement that you are doing is if you are measuring it from an infinite point of view, then 10,000 years is nothing, 20,000 years is nothing, even 100 million years is nothing, right? If you're looking from an infinitive perspective, because infinite means, right? If you say out of 10,000, because time is once again relative, right? I think that's science also said the same thing, time is relative. So something that is short for a certain thing is not short for other things, right? If you have to sit cross-legged for 2 hours, it's very long, right? But I don't know, if you have to dance for 2 hours, maybe not too long. Depends on the situation, what you're doing. 2 hours is long or short because due to different, yeah. So as a infinity as the measurement, then 10,000 years is too long. So from in that perspective, but Buddha speaking from a perspective of infinity, because we speak about beginning less of time. There is no beginning of time. There is a beginning less of time. Meaning there is no beginning of time. Time starts from nowhere, it ends nowhere. Time is just keep going, because it's circular. So therefore, there never was an inception. Yeah, inception, beginning. There never was a beginning. The beginning was always there. If you want to, there's always a beginning of a certain person or an incident. Beginning of Big Bang, yes, there is that. Beginning of human what do you call that? Human evolution, human being coming to this world, that you can date that. Beginning of this, there is. But beginning of everything, no. For anything to start, for something to begin with, there has to be a space or a time for that beginning to exist, for that beginning to rise, for that beginning to generate. That means that beginning is part of another beginning. So that means there's no end to beginning. There is no beginning of beginning. There is no beginning. So beginningless, the concept, okay? So the concept very easily is circular. I think the sign for infinity is like a number 8, right? Sign is like that, so it always goes around. That is because time is beginningless. Buddhist concept is time is beginningless because consciousness is beginningless. The mind is beginningless. There is no start of inception of the mind. The mind was the stream of mind. The continuum of the mind was there from beginningless, like that. So what's this got to do with what you were talking today? Because so this basically the Buddha, the gods live a very long life from a human's perspective. But since Buddha was talking from a infinitive perspective, then even the gods are not immortal in that sense, because after some time they die. So from the god to the hell being, everything is impermanent. Everyone is impermanent. They have to die. They have to, like that. So the gods live a very long life, and the same goes with the gods. What do you call that thing? Pure Land. Yeah. Maybe just explore a little bit more. There's the concept of 6 realms. 6 realms. A lot of time we only talk about 5 realms. Yeah. I think that the 6th realm concept is very popular because it's very symmetrical. 3 up on the top, 3 on the below, right? 3, 3. And then also when we draw the wheel of life, we have all these things there. There's 6. But if you check history, if you go really check the conception of the God and basically we're talking about God realm, demigod, and human. Top 3. Animal, hungry ghost, hell, lower 3. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. So it's symmetrical, looks very nice. But in actuality, and the story goes that the demigods are always jealous of the god because there is Paksam Gishing, the wish-fulfilling tree, which is rooted in the demigod's realm, and the branches are coming out in the god realm because God is above there. So the gods are enjoying the fruits of labor of the demigods. So that's why the demigods are always angry about this and that. Yeah. So that's why the demigods are always jealous of the god realm. So that is the idea. But in many texts, it says in reality there's only 5 realms. Yeah. The demigod actually is part of. If you count only 5 realms, then demigod is actually part of the god realm. So when I see that when I was small, I don't understand what that actually means. Is it because demigod and god are of same strength, or demigods are supposed to be very powerful too? So in the Greek concept, in the Greek mythology, you have the concept of titans and the gods. There used to be the titans, then the gods came later, this and that. So there is some sort of likeness to that too. In the Norse, before the gods, there is the giants, right? In the Norse mythology. So kind of similar structure there. So later I found out that what do you call demigod in Sanskrit? Yes, Asura. And maybe in Chinese, Atula? Ashula, yes. Ashu, war, right? That's basically a corruption of the term Asura. Asur. And in Vietnamese, they call it Atula. So anyway, the corruption of the original word. So who else calls? Okay, Asura is what? Demigod, not a god. Is it a god or not a god? Asuras are regarded as god by some people. Yeah. By some people, meaning at the same time when the devatas, or so the name for god in Sanskrit is devata, deva, yeah. Deva, devi, devatas. At the same time when people are, I would say, worshipping the devatas, at a certain part of the world, they are also worshipping the asuras. And these two worlds actually are happening at the same time, contemporary to each other. I'm talking about Mesopotamic and the Byzantine Empire. In the past, right now it's called Syria. Back in the day, there's the Babylonian civilization. So during that time, the gods from the Babylonian sort of civilization, they refer to their god as Asur. In the Mesopotamic era, like on the other side, where the Sindhu River is running, basically where this is the inception of the Hindu tradition, Hindu religion, or that thing all came from the Mesopotamic. That thing. So this is actually a reference from this side of the river Sindhu, meaning from the Dharmic tradition, referring to their god as devatas, and other people's gods as demigods, lower gods. Other people meaning the Babylonian gods, right? Which at that time they are at clash with. So my gods are devatas, your gods are demigods, lower, asura. What you call asura, what you refer to your god as asura, I call this demigod. So it's a concept of sort of it's an idea of belittling your enemy's icon, because gods are there. So by belittling the most precious thing in your thinking, your mentality, I'm also belittling you. Okay, so asura, if you check it up in dictionary, you will find so asura, Syria, all these things, kind of names rhyme. So in the Babylonian sort of civilization, their gods were referred to as asura, and their god, right? Their meaning our enemy's god, I call it the demigod. They are powerful, but as not powerful as my god, the devatas. So in that understanding, the concept of 6 realms came about. Not necessarily that one. The concept of God and the demigod, the devata and the asur concept came about like that. And then of course it went on for thousands of years. This is like pre-Buddhism era. Much later, when the Buddhism flourished, there was a lot of cultural baggage that you carry along, because Buddha wants to send you the main message that Buddha wants to send you is how to get out of samsara. Every other thing is not that important. Yeah. For lot of things that is apparently believed by the society, you have to let it remain as it is in order to cope with the people, in order to appeal to people's mindset. When it comes to the liberation aspect, when it comes to profound teaching, you introduce the wisdom. Other than that, the external casket, you mold it in a way that leans more or less towards the pre-Buddhist concept. Okay, so that's why the idea of demigods or the asuras were also brought in. Asuras were given the status of demigods in Buddhism too. And then the concept of 6 realms came about. So the 6 realms you can always take out the second realm, the demigod realm, and then there will be only 5. 6 or 5 realms. If you look in the books such as the book on a Buddhist encyclopedia book, what is Abhidhamma Kosha, you will find the mention of 5 or 6 realms. So the reason it's called 5 or 6 is basically based on that part. So in any case, God realm, being born as a god in the Pure Land, very long life. Pure and impure, now I'll bring you to, because even in this world, even in the world that we live in, Shakyamuni's world is considered impure realm. Yeah, a realm can be pure and impure. Impure realm means it is his realm, it is where he taught the Dharma, many people got enlightened, everything, but people go through impure experiences, meaning pain, worry, mental, everything. Yeah, there is a lot of suffering. You have suffering and joy together, that's impure realm. If you have only pure, peaceful experiences, it's called a pure realm. So those who are born in the pure realm have no experience of any negative, destructive emotions. Of course, there is the underlying negative emotions always there, but no apparent such thought as to kill someone, cheat someone, this and that. One of the main reasons being you have everything aplenty. Whatever you need, just you can project. You can conjure, project. Whatever you need, food, whatever you need, you have it at your disposal, instant disposal. So you don't need to fight with each other. There is no attachment, none of that thing. But of course, underneath there is there, because we have not yet eliminated them, purified them. So because you don't have any immediate needs or immediate need to fight or clash with others, you have no distraction. Yeah, no distraction of mundane things like, oh, I must get food, get shelter, cannot get cold, cannot get hot, this and that. No such desires there. So only thing you do is just practice. Yeah, that's why one of the reason, the reason we wish to be born in the Pure Land is not just to get a respite from the pain, the heat of samsaric life alone, but so that break we get from samsara in the pure realm, we will utilize that to practice further like that. So in that Pure Land, there is the Amitabha Buddha, red in color, clad in monastic attire. Yeah. So the simplest form is like that. Okay. Then flanked by 2 bodhisattvas, Manjushri on the right and Vajrapani on the left, symbolizing the Buddha's infinite wisdom and infinite potential. Last night we talked about that. I know something does not mean I have information about something. I know something means I can do it, right? I know how to write in English does not mean I can tell you how to write in English. It means I can actually, write with if someone give me a pen and paper, I can form words in English. That means that's when I say I know how to write in English, right? I know how to cook means I can actually cook. It does not mean I have information on how to cook. ChatGPT can tell you that, but you cannot say ChatGPT knows how to cook. ChatGPT has information on how to cook, but it does not know how to cook because it cannot cook. So a cookbook, let's say, maybe cookbook has all the information on how to cook. So theoretically, you can say a cookbook knows how to cook because it has all the information, all the knowledge is within the cookbook, but it does not know how to cook in the sense that it cannot cook. So Buddha having infinite knowledge means he has infinite potential, power. So potential in knowledge and potential goes hand in hand. unlike a cookbook that cannot cook, or a machine that has an information but cannot do anything on its own, Buddha's infinite knowledge means infinite possibility. That's why wisdom and the potential on each side is there. Yeah, Vajrapani and Manjushri is there. So in some setting you have Amitabha lifted by the 8 bodhisattvas. In many depiction, in a large number of depictions, you have Amitabha lifted by, he sits on a throne which is held up by peacocks. In any case, peacock is his ride. Okay. So there's belief that peacocks consume poison, but through consuming poison, whatever he's consuming, it's actually poisonous to other people or other creatures. So, and so there are many stories of that sort in Indian sort of mythology. The peacock consuming poisoning, but getting brighter, more beautiful, more attractive, this and that. Consuming poison and becoming better. Consuming something harmful and becoming more better. So another term for that is called transmutation. Transmute. Transformation, transmute. Whatever negativity is there, you use that negative energy to procure something positive. Transmutation. So symbolizing that, then you also have the symbol of because he belonged to the lotus family. The symbol is always lotus. Lotus, born in mud, blossoming. When it blossoms, there is no mud there. Comes from mud, but blossoms without mud. That's transformation. Comes from a difficult situation, all different challenges. You are able to overcome all of that and rise up beautifully. Transformation, lotus, transformation, peacock, transmutation. That's what Amitabha represents. Manjushri, wisdom, already talk about that. Manjushri as a person, if you think of him as a literal person, then during Buddha's time, he appeared as a bodhisattva. But in reality, in essence, Manjushri is the essence of all the Buddha's wisdom. That means the Manjushri that appeared during Buddha's time is Nirmanakaya. It's a form. It's an embodiment. Okay, it's an embodiment of all the Buddha's wisdom. If you read the Kangyur, it says a lot about all the Buddha. The Manjushri has always been the first ever teacher, guru, for all the Buddhas of past, present, and future to generate bodhicitta for the first time. Let me say it once again. Manjushri has always been the principal teacher for all the Buddhas that has ever come in the past, present, and will come in the future. The Manjushri has been the teacher for all the Buddhas that has come and is going to come as their master, their teacher, their guru to generate bodhicitta. So if in that understanding, Manjushri is not one person. Manjushri is not an individual. Manjushri is the embodiment of all the Buddha's wisdom. So in that understanding, all the deities are like that. Tara, Generasi, all these like that. Because Generasi is the embodiment of all the Buddha's compassionate essence. Like that. Shakyamuni Buddha also was once a disciple of according to the legend, there was one king who has 1,000 princes. It's possible because they have 10,000 wives, or more. So you had 1,000 princes. Their Raj Guru, or the royal teacher, was Manjushri. He taught, so it's one of the Manjushri emanations. So Manjushri taught the benefit, or the Manjushri taught the qualities of enlightenment, Buddha, and this and all that. And all the princes were inspired immensely. Have you heard of that story before? Have you? So I think it's good to tell this. So Manjushri taught this to all the then they were all inspired to become Buddha. So all of them took the Bodhisattva vow. 1,000 kids, 1,000 princes. Everybody made a different commitment, vow, and this and that. Shakyamuni being the fourth one. So in this kalpa, this era, it is said that there would be 1,000 Buddha, right? This kalpa is considered the light kalpa. Means if there is a Buddha in the kalpa, it's called a light kalpa. There is no Buddha, it's called dark kalpa. So a kalpa is a very long time, like 300 billion years. Yeah. So kalpa, this kalpa has 1,000 Buddhas coming. Shakyamuni being the fourth. There are 996 to come yet. So every Buddha made different. So one of the qualities of Shakyamuni Buddha is that when all the Buddhas made, Shakyamuni Buddha made the aspiration that in his reign, in his tenure, is his term, may there be Sutrayana and Tantrayana both flourish in his tenure, his term. So that's why in Shakyamuni's time, we have Vajrayana and Sutrayana both flourishing. Okay? There is only two other Buddhas who have Vajrayana, but Vajrayana alone. Every other Buddha, only Sutrayana, no Vajrayana. Yeah. So usually we say, using a source, we have two Buddhas with both Vajrayana and Tantra. Using literal source, we have only one Buddha with Vajrayana, and this is called a full-fledged Buddhism, or full-fledged Buddhist teaching, complete Buddhist teaching, because you have the Vajrayana and the Sutrayana complete. That is a complete Buddhism. Only complete Buddhism exists according to sources, according to authoritative, reliable sources. Only term, only era where the Sutrayana and Tantrayana both are thriving is in Shakyamuni's time, only for 5,000 years. The rest of the time, other Buddhas will come, like for example, Maitreya Buddha will come, but will not give any tantric teaching. According to the sutra, according to source, there is no mention of any other Buddha giving Sutrayana and Vajrayana teaching, no complete. But using reasoning, we conclude, we infer that the last Buddha, or the 1,000 Buddha, the 1,000th one, during his tenure, during his term, there will be both of them. Yeah, we are using logical conclusion, we are drawing logical conclusion on that. There is no sutra source on that. Okay, so if you go by sutra source, only one with complete Buddhism, Vajrayana and Tantrayana, and two others who have Tantrayana, no Vajrayana, Sutrayana, and the rest are all Sutrayana, no Vajrayana at all. So you see a lot of time, even now today's people are questioning Vajrayana a lot, because it seems, there's a lot of hocus pocus, and maybe it's not. There's a lot of Hindu tantric Hinduism influence there. This is not pure Buddhism. This and that. Already people are starting questioning. Yeah, a lot of them. So the logical conclusion that you draw, that the last Buddha will have both Vajrayana and Sutrayana and Tantrayana, there's 1,000 princes, remember? Each prince made this commitment that when I become a Buddha, may there be this, right? May people Amitabha Buddha who said, may there be may all be free from suffering just by hearing my name, etc. So every Buddha made a different aspiration, vow. And Shakyamuni's vow is that in his tenure there will be complete Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, which means Sutrayana and Tantra both thrive harmoniously. So it is said that all the princes have made specific vows, except for the last one. So the joke is that maybe there's 1,000 Buddhas and Manjushri is sitting there, and he's listening to all the vows. He's maybe a little bit tired because there's 1,000 people making different commitments. Okay, no time. Okay, you are the last one. Make it quick. Anyway, the commitment that the last Bodhisattva, the last prince he made is, whatever my elder brothers say, may that come true. So whatever all my elder brother means, his fourth eldest brother, which is Shakyamuni, he said there will be, in my tenure, may there be Vajrayana and Tantrayana, both. So it's a logical conclusion that we draw, very optimistical. It's an optimistical, logical conclusion that we draw. We hope, right? So, because Shakyamuni has it, he should also have it, because he says, everything that my brother has, I want that, right? So, it's a logical conclusion that we are drawing, but there's no sutra source on that. There's no source, authoritative source on that. Anyway, so Manjushri is such a person, yeah, very important person. He did that. So, due to all these, because of Manjushri, Shakyamuni Buddha was also initiated into Bodhisattva path. And so he was what we know as Buddha Shakyamuni now. Many thousands of eons before, it was Manjushri who introduced him to that path. So Vajrapani also a lot of story, but we'll not talk about this. Okay. So visualizing the Pure Land is the first one. So he was sitting. The 8 bodhisattvas who are lifting. So there's one version where all the 8 bodhisattvas were lying down as the seat or throne for the Amitabha. And there's another version where he's lifted by a peacock. So in any case, so I think that is symbolic. The 8 bodhisattvas lying on the ground is symbolic because 8 bodhisattvas are, all of them are accomplished, full-fledged, or fully completed enlightened Buddha already, like Manjushri, like Vajrapani. These are the, so during Buddha's time they appear in the form of a bhikshu, monk. Okay, Buddha's time. So they appear as bodhisattva. We call this the bodhisattva form. But in reality, they were in their Sambhogakaya form. This is how they appear. This is the Sambhogakaya form. The Nirmanakaya form is monk. So in order to assist Buddha, they come in such form. If you see His Holiness Dalai Lama in maybe like 50 something years ago, both of his tutors, Kepjili Rinpoche and Chinam Rinpoche, they always attend his teachings. It's not as, it's not because they learn something new from him. It's there to assist him. They are his teacher, but then they are always there during his teachings so that they would assist him. So like that, Manjushri was already a Buddha. All the 8 bodhisattvas were already Buddha in essence, but they came back to assist the Buddha. So assisting is offering yourself in servitude to you. So to symbolize that, they were lying below Amitabha. Yeah. So the main point is visualize Amitabha Buddha in the form of your guru. Yeah. If you dare do that, there is the Guru Yoga. If you visualize Amitabha as Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, then there is the refuge also in there. Amitabha is the Buddha, his knowledge is the Dharma, and then, his support or him giving the helping hand to us, that is the Sangha. Yeah. Then Amitabha's understanding, Amitabha's realization of the truth is the Dharmakaya, his Sambhogakaya form, which is not visible but is the underlying form, that is the Sambhogakaya form anyway. Then him appearing as a monk, as a fully ordained, that is the Nirmanakaya. So you have the three kayas, three refuge, and also the Guru Yoga, everything in one, which is Amitabha. Yeah, like that. So visualize a pure land. Pure land means pure. The purity here means the purity here refers to anything, a piece of land where it's free from all types of suffering and ill thought, ill mentality, any of that. That is a pure land. And on top of that, physically, it's very appealing. Meadows, waterfall, all these things, birds chirping, everything, the most beautiful, serene beauty you can imagine. In the middle of that, there is the lotus flower. On top of that, you have the throne, which is lifted by 8 peacocks. On top of that, there is the Amitabha Buddha, flanked by Amitabha Buddha, red in color, in a meditative posture, mudra, meditative mudra, flanked by Manjushri, wisdom, on the right, Vachapani, potential, on the left, blue in color, Manjushri, orange in color, like that. That is how you envision the Pure Land or the Pure Realm of Amitabha. So the first cause is envisioning the, visualizing the Pure Land. So that's it. The next one is to accumulate merit. So accumulating merit is done through prostrating, making offerings. The 7 limb practice, yeah, making offering. So first one is prostration. So prostration, the word in Tibetan is chak-tselwa, chak-tsel, right? Chak in Tibetan means hand. Hand is chak is Tibetan for hand. Tsel is asked or request. Okay. So another way definition of chak is to sweep, clean. Yeah, sweeper, to charge. When we say clean the house, we say ke cha is to clean or sweep, to sweep. So the first one is cha, as in a hand, as in chak tselwa, as in a chak as in a hand, and then tselwa as in asking or requesting. Then you are, by doing the prostration, you are asking whatever qualities that you have, the Buddha has, may I also have the same. You are asking for the same qualities to be. So what we usually refer to as blessing. May I receive your blessing means whatever qualities you have, may I also have the same. Chak tselwa. I'm asking from your hand all the qualities that you have to be bestowed upon me, something like that. But more powerfully is if you understand chak as sweep. So you purify your negativities by doing the prostration. As you sweep away your negativities, you become more worthy of a quality that is akin, that the Buddha possesses. If you if you are not a very if you do not do the things you are supposed to do, then you are not longer worthy of receiving such a gift, such a quality. So therefore, by purifying your negativities, you become more worthy of receiving the blessings of the Buddha. So therefore, you chak, sweep away your negativity and then receive the blessing, like the chak tselwa. Chak is to sweep away, tselwa is to seek. Sweep away the negativity and seek the blessing, chak tselwa. Anyway, most important is chak during the prostration. I think some of you already know, is that you need to touch the 5 points. So that is the forehead, the 2 palms, and the 2 knees must touch. It can be a long cha or a short cha. It is said that the reason we prefer the long prostration is that when you do the long prostration, when you are doing a prostration, the breath that you cover as you extend your body, the amount of atoms that is there from the surface of earth where you are doing the prostration to the crux of earth, to the center of earth, up to that much, however many atoms there may be, the same amount of merit is being accumulated because negativity are purified. So if you extend the further, you cover more ground. If you do the short one, you cover less. So if you are a tall person, you can cleanse more negativity. Yeah. So that is the So prostration. The most important thing is when you prostrate, you bow down, you kowtow, right? So you don't bow down to people whom you don't respect. Especially when you feel egotistical, you don't. Proud. So Chatsalwa, doing prostration is a very good antidote, is a very effective antidote to pride, to ego, to curb your ego, to lessen your ego. If you do prostration for a long time, consciously you prostrate, not just physically doing it but mentally somewhere else, that doesn't really make much difference. But if you consciously do that, then you are actually sort of bowing down to someone. We bow down means we lower our ego, right? If you are very high in ego, you cannot lower yourself down. But sometimes people can, ego is very tricky, right? It's maya, it's illusion. So sometimes in order to show people as an ego comes in the form of spiritual practice, to show people how good prostrator you are. You can do the best prostration and look at others who are not doing it properly, So in order, prostration which is supposed to curb down your ego, but you are utilizing that to increase your ego. You know the phrase that I'm so humble, right? That I'm the most humble person in all of the world. So when you say I am the most humble person in the whole world, you become number one, right? Yeah, very unhumble. I'm so humble that there is anyone else who is more humble than me. Then you're actually directing at something else. There were instances like that many times. My teacher told me, I don't know if you have this tradition, custom in your culture. In Tibetan culture, we have Usually when we try to, the sitting arrangement, we try to sit a little bit, we don't try to sit in the very top, right? Out of respect for others, trying to be humble. I think that's a very Eastern culture, right? So in Tibetan culture, we also have that, the monks, usually they try to sit a little bit lower. And so there was one, my teacher told me a long time ago, like 70s, yeah. So he said there was one Geshe-la. He was quite, how to say, sort of a popular, quite reputable, quite popular kind of Geshe, famous kind of Geshe. And he came to His Holiness teaching, and he sat a little bit lower than his, how to say, lower than his standard position. So the expectation, well, you can tell that his expectation was that some people will, because he's a senior Geshe, some people will come and ask him, please, Geshe-la, come up to the stage, right? Most likely during his, or maybe His Holiness will say, Geshe, you come up here because you are senior. But what happens was nobody, everybody neglected that, including His Holiness. Even maybe His Holiness know his mindset, right? So he wasn't invited. So he was stranded in a position much lower than his standard. But he couldn't come up on his own because His Holiness already arrived. So the sitting arrangements are already done. So he was kind of lost in between. And yeah, so there was a story like that. So he said, my teacher said that the next day, so how he found all this out is the next day he managed to come much earlier and sit in the, on the edges, on the stage, but the stage is already full. So there's no place to sit. So he was actually sitting on the edge like this. So half his I don't know, like back was almost coming off. Which tells you that yesterday him sitting a little lower is not through humbleness, but he wished to be highlighted. Yeah, like he wants people to know that how humble he is. Yeah, there are many stories like that. Yeah. Okay. Second prostration, then making offering, is it? Pure. So 7-limb practice. You have any questions, by the way? No question today. Not yet. Making offerings is, of course, when you offer to the, offering is parting. You're parting something, right? That means it's a practice of letting go. Of course, it's a form of generosity. Of the 6th perfection, it's generosity. When you offer something, you are parting something from you. So that way you turn yourself in non-attachment. In order to part something, you have to unattach it, right? So parting something, there are 2 forms of parting to what we usually refer to as parting to the higher ones, which is known as the Buddha, the deity, etc. The lower ones, which is the underprivileged. So making donation, charity, this and that. Offering to the Sangha, offering to the Buddha, the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and then offering to the so both way, charity to the underprivileged. So both are a form of offering. So there is this question. It's a very practical question. A lot of people have this question like, why do we still keep offering like fruit and water, this and that, to a statue, right, made from metal, this and that, and instead we could have given to people underprivileged, poor people, this and that, and it's a very reasonable question. Yeah. The thing is, Buddha, through his merit, to become a Buddha, the time, you know, right? 3 countless kalpa. Work very hard, accumulate so much merit. So what that does is he has that sort of a magnetizing power or miraculous power by that anyone who makes offering to him also receives something in return. Meaning, when we offer to the Buddha, we accumulate a huge amount of merit. Okay, this may sound harsh, but the underprivileged or the poor, they didn't, like if you follow the law of causality, karma, they didn't become poor by default, but out of the blue. There is a cause and condition for that. Just like Buddha didn't come out of the blue, those who are suffering in samsara also didn't come out of the blue. Okay? So they are suffering due to their negative karma. I'm not saying they deserve it, but they are responsible for it. If you are happy, you are responsible for it. If you are unhappy, you are still responsible for it. You are your own master, you are your own enemy. If you're suffering, you did something harmful to yourself. Anyway, so sentient beings who are suffering, we must help them. This part I will come later. But it's due to their negative karma that they are going through this. So therefore, when we help them in general, they brought themselves to such a situation. So when we help them, there is that visible satisfaction, of course. Meaning, from a mundane perspective, when you help someone hungry or someone lacking in food, someone underprivileged, all these things, then that seems to be the most effective way to practice. Because if you are helping them, they are really in hardship, all this and that. So when you help them, that is the most effective practice of Dharma. But when you make offering to the Buddha, it's just a metallic body. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything. But what is visible to our eyesight and what is not, what is underlying, is two different things. When you make offerings to the Buddha, the sheer amount of merit that he has accumulated to become a Buddha actually makes it, we receive a huge amount of merit when you offer to the Buddha. The merit that we derive from making offering to the Buddha and to the underprivileged is sky and earth difference. Yeah, when you make offering to the Buddha, there's much more merit that you accumulate. When you make offering to the general gift, charity, to the underprivileged, poor, this and that, the merit is much less. So now, when we say this thing, this seems so much contradictory to like real life, because there's people who are suffering in pain, in that, and instead of helping those people, you are going to you think of doing something for the statue building up. He's always said that. Why you build up temple? Why you building? His Holiness Dalai Lama always said that building temple, building statue, this is not the real thing. Do something for the poor, this and that. So now I will go a little deeper, okay? Merit-wise, accumulating merit, offering to the Buddha, much more merit than offering to poor people. Okay? That is established, no question about that. If you offer to the poor people, because they become poor through their own negative karma, it's a harsh thing to say that they deserve it, but they are responsible for it. So when you help them, it helps them for their, how to say, temporary need is solved. Their temporary needs, which is hunger, is solved. You're not doing anything further than that. By offering to the Buddha, because of the miraculous, the merit that he has accumulated, by offering to the Buddha, you are collecting so much merit. Okay, this is one thing. Now, I am getting so much more merit by offering to the Buddha than offering to the poor people. So what should I choose? The poor people or the Buddha? The Buddha, right? Now this is actually selfish thought. You understand? Offering to the Buddha is more meritorious, but choosing merit for whom? Not for the Buddha. Buddha don't need merit. I need merit. So I'm offering to the Buddha, I'm neglecting the poor. If I have only like one piece, the choice, I offer to the Buddha and not to the poor, then I am being selfish here. If I give to the poor, I get less merit. If I offer to the Buddha, I get more merit. So I offer to the Buddha, that means I'm being selfish here. I'm being selfish in my practice. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama is looking at it from a very unselfish, selfless perspective. Bodhisattva's practice. Don't build temple. Take care of the underprivileged. Temple is for your own benefit, merit. Taking care of the underprivileged, build up school, build medical hospital, this and that, is for them. For the sake of them thriving, sacrifice even your merit-making opportunities. When you do that, actually getting an opportunity to accumulate merit is such a, auspicious occasion. We must, we must always get hold of that. Never let that go. But as a Bodhisattva practice, Bodhicitta practitioner, my merit and their well-being, if I have to make a decision, I will choose their well-being over my merit. So that is like way beyond, wow. And now I will come to one very controversial thing. You know Sagadawa? Sagadawa? Everybody, I don't know how popular in your culture, but Tibetans, very popular. Sagadawa, everybody doing Dharma practice, blah, 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 all these things. Selfish or selfless? Other times, not so much practice. Sagadawa, maximize it to so much. Overfeeding the poor people, beggars in all the places. Beggars actually show angry faces at you for giving too much. I'm not kidding. Other times, all the beggars are neglected. Sagadawa, especially 15 Tibetans, maybe worse. Tibetans are the worst. Overfeeding banana, so much. Hey, take this. I want to have merit. They don't say it, but that's the idea, right? I want to have 100,000 merit. So eat this banana today. If you eat it tomorrow, it's merit, only one banana merit. If you eat it today, I get 100,000 banana merit. So eat it now. Eat the bread. Okay, one bread is fine. 100 people comes in 1 hour, giving you bread, giving you banana. Eat it. I need merit. So, giving charity to the poor in Sagadawa, and choosing to neglect the poor people and offering to the Buddha in general, same. So, last word. Simjin guche matope sangi gibe tapshinme. That is from Bodhisattva Charya Avatar. Other than pleasing the sentient beings, there is no other way to please the Buddhas. That's from Bodhisattva Charya Avatar. His Holiness is getting this from Bodhisattva Charya Avatar. So he said, don't build temple, all this thing. Every time the monasteries built elaborate buildings, he's scolding them every time, every monastery. So in the past, like when they make a monastery, they want to make sure that it looks nice and everything because a lot of money was spent. But at the same time, what His Holiness gonna say, His Holiness is totally against wastage or how to say, opulence. Anyway, so Saradava, one thing. Then one more controversial. I don't know should say or not should not say. What do you call that? Marine life, freeing fish. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Release. Liberation. Yeah, marine life liberation. So I want to accumulate a lot of merit, then free the fishes in unsuitable water. They do. There are many instances. There was one instance where some Tibetan monk, they were fined £10,000 in the UK for releasing seawater into freshwater or freshwater into sea or something. I forgot the exact thing. So they messed up. That they were fined. So in any case, my point was Tibetans started to do a lot of the fish liberation in the community where I live. Before, we don't have any fisheries, yeah. So Tibetans are like everybody wants to do the fish liberation thing. Then one Indian guy came and he set up a fishery. So you can buy fish from him to liberate it there. Before that, we don't have fish shop. So he set up a fish shop just to, make us do that. And you see that a lot in the past. Nowadays, we don't see that much, but in the past, you see that a lot in Bodh Gaya. People they tell you, oh, free this bird, free this bird. So because you keep freeing this bird, they keep capturing more bird. So you are actually the creator of those birds being, in captivity. Okay, too much controversy. No question. Good. We stop here. Tomorrow we will conclude. Okay. From offering is done, prostration is done. Then what is next? Generosity. Rejoice. Oh, engaging, but not yet there. We are going to bodhicitta. No, we are actually part of the accumulating merit. So in order to accumulate merit, the best practice is 7-limb practice. So we are going through 7-limb. The first 2 is generosity and prostration and offering and Chansawada choosing. Tomorrow, repentance and all this will go. We will also try to do bodhicitta and everything all in once. Okay. So as a what do you call that thing? Cliffhanger, right? Cliffhanger, right? In this movie serial, yeah, they put something. This is for tomorrow. So tomorrow I will, because I didn't share much about the Amitabha Pure Land practice per se. So tomorrow I will share one book, one text called Devachendu Drebar, Devachendu Topa Mebar Drebar Tamba, Samden Yelgum. So the manual to be born in Amitabha's Pure Land without any interruption. The practice known as meditative sleep. So it's a sleeping yoga where you practice being born in Amitabha's Pure Land as part of your nap. That will be for tomorrow. Okay? It's a very easy practice. It's what is it? Gewa di nyordo lama sangye ndrogyo ndrowa chijam kege salam goba sho chanju simjo rembo che magye panam ke yore che ke ba nyamba me kone kondo me wara sho Okay.